Hey guys, welcome back to the studio. I'm working with window light today. The window light's really nice. So I've got a huge window above me instead of an LED light. So slight different aesthetic, but there we go. Which is kind of the exact opposite of what I'm going to tell you about here. So we've been talking about niches for a while here. It's one of the things I say that you must have. If you want to be successful and make the big money, you have to have a niche. But there seems to be some confusion. So I want to bring in some additional words here. We're going to have genre, niche, and style. Now, your genre of photography, you don't have to have one, you can have many, and this will make sense as we go through this conversation. But your genre could be food photography, headshot photography, wedding photography. It could even be reportage wedding photography. That's a genre. Now, you can have a style of that, but that's a genre. So let's take myself as an example, because it's probably the easiest thing to do, because I can show you examples. My genre is food and drink predominantly. That is predominantly what I shoot. Now we do other still life as well, and we'll get to that at the end, but food and drink. Keep that in mind, that's my genre. My niche is that I work with high-end commercial clients for commercial usage of images. I will be shooting, well, if you go around London at the moment, pretty much every GoPuff advert, I shot those. So that's my niche. I work with those clients. My niche is doing that sort of work, and I do it in my style. And my style is bold and graphic. So if someone says, what's your niche? Tell me what you do for a job. I'm a food and drink photographer who shoots bold and graphic work for commercial clients. And that is my elevator pitch. That is my quick, I can tell you this whilst we're going up the stairs sort of pitch. This is what I do. And you should be able to do that. Now, the two new words we've brought in here, especially style, are very important because I can apply my style to different genres, and I do. I can take these pliers here, these were just the nearest thing to me, and I can take these pliers and I can photograph them in my style. Now that would be branching somewhat out of my niche, but because it's still in my style, it's still a recognizable type of work. It's not my genre, but these here could be shot in my style for commercial use. And that would fit within my umbrella brand of who I am as a person and who I am as a photographer. Now this can get very confusing because there's times when you can mix and match. There's some photographers who do several genres, they'll do portrait and food, but they'll shoot them in their style, and their niche will be shooting those genres in that style for these people. And I think it's a really important distinction. Now, what you want to avoid doing is letting that creep, letting your niche creep out and get niche creep, which is a term I am coining. Which is where you suddenly go, well, you know, for me personally, I shoot anything which doesn't move, still life, in my style for commercial use. I start putting people into the mix, we get a bit of niche creep, which is a very pleasing phrase to say. And once this niche creep carries on going, you suddenly become lost. Now, I've recently pitched for 2 big jobs, both of which I lost, but that's life. And the importance was so specific. It was down to the clarity of a glass. That's what lost me the job. That the clarity of my glasses were not correct for what they wanted. They wanted a particular clarity, so they went for a different photographer who had that clarity of part of their style. They worked in that genre, and their niche was doing that for that type of client. And you know, the sort of money we're talking about here is like your annual salary for a shoot. And it's good money. So having that narrowed down niche is important. You get 2 or 3 of those a year, and you're laughing. I mean, if you got 1 a week, you'd be, well, probably not having to wear 2 hoodies because you had to buy air conditioning to heat the place, and the air conditioning is too loud to use whilst filming. So, you know, we all make our choices in life. I guess I made not particularly good ones at some point, but nevertheless, these are important distinctions, and I wanted to put those out there for you. I'm going to give you another example, though. Let's take wedding photographers, for example, because that's a real hard one. Wedding photographers get a tough rap because, firstly, they don't get paid nearly enough. Secondly, they're frowned upon in the commercial world. And thirdly, they have to work like dogs. I did weddings. It is brutal. Now, being a wedding photographer is a genre of photography you work in. So let's say you're a wedding photographer. Your niche might be shooting small, intimate weddings where they don't even know you're there. You're like a guest. Your style might be some gritty black and white reportage, you know, familiar with like Don McCullen, for example. That whole Tri-X vibe going on. That could be it. That could be how you package yourself. And you need to be able to say who you are and what you do as succinctly, which is a tough word, as I can say that I I'm a food and drink photographer who shoots bold and graphic images for commercial usage. That's how easily you should be able to describe what you do and be able to put it to a friend, a client, or whoever it is, and for them to know what it is you do. Once they're like, you do what now? They've lost interest. You need to be able to make it like bold and graphic. Everyone can relate to that. So in the comments below, let me know what it is you do and how you do it. Give me your pitch. Let me know who it is you are as a photographer, what your niche is, what your style is, what your genre is. Use those 3 headings to build it out for you. Anyway, I hope this has been of use to you. If you enjoy this sort of talk about business and the commercial side of photography, do hit subscribe. See you all later. Bye-bye.